Alright everyone, it's time for Vermont Issues episode 36. This is a really funny one. Vermont declared #1 shitposting state. There was a study by Discuss in partnership with Wired, and they found that the people commenting, on Discuss anyway, from the state of Vermont had a higher proportion of toxic commentary than any other state in the United States. This probably puts us on par with Australia or Canada, so we're doing pretty well. Don't underestimate our Bantz. I will say this, though. Asking Wired and Discuss to judge what is or is not a toxic comment leaves a little bit to be desired, of course. It's not something that necessarily you trust some tech firm and some tabloid to actually analyze properly, because they probably consider things to be toxic that the average sane, rational human being would not. So what this really means is that Vermonters love trolling, but they also like to talk about touchy issues. They shouldn't be, but, you know, they are for a lot of people. Politics and religion, and don't hold back. So it's probably in part because of our climate. I bet this spikes in winter as opposed to summer. You know, people aren't out as much. They got nothing else to do. They're feeling bitter. Maybe they're drinking a lot. It just sort of happens. We do have that miserable climate 5 months out of the year. Believe it or not, this doesn't even include any numbers involving me. God, I haven't made a comment using Discuss in years, I think, because most of the sites that use it, they're like they're legacy media, and I don't use their pages really. There was a time back, years ago, when I used to go on to CNN articles or something and point out how dumb they were. And for a while there, those of us that would do that usually had the top comment. If you didn't even have to get there early, people would see that. They realized that, CNN and these sites were propaganda. Discuss was serving them. I'm assuming part of that feeds into it. But I'm very, very proud to announce that our state is #1 in intelligent commentary. You see, intelligence is now seen as toxic. People who are capable of rationally analyzing things have been spurned, pushed to the sidelines usually by the big media. And so they consider it toxic. It's like if you look at Google's upcoming, help us determine what is toxic algorithm. It's all over the place. Sometimes it's accurate, makes sense. Other times, what are you talking about? AI leaves a bit to be desired, as we can see online frequently now. And as for Discuss, it's basically just a big trolling platform anyway. It's put onto these sites. They use it for a commenting function. I don't know why they don't make their own, why they have to link up with some other service. So they could use anything else under the sun, but they don't bother. So they did this study, and 12% of Vermonters' comments are toxic, which means they're either, too intelligent for their taste, I guess, a little bit too analytic, a little bit too critical of the political leanings of a group like Wired, #1, or #2, they are actually trolling, which means there are a lot of trolls in the state of Vermont. Most of them are probably up in Burlington. You got to realize we can draw on the linguistic talent of other states because of UVM, too, being a big sort of import university. People come there, often from the West Coast. So we're drawing the best and brightest shit posters from around the world. It's actually kind of funny. Let's just say that. It's great. Yeah, I'm proud of this. I'm not even saying that in an ironic sense. I think that's a good thing, because it means the commentary is at both poles, both the really dumb, slimy stuff, which, it takes some talent to piss people off, and at the other end, very intelligent commentary where people have rejected the establishment consensus and are labeled toxic as the result of that. They would have considered what, hippies or, 80s era Wiccans were saying. They would have considered that toxic too. I think it's just a sign of the times. So I'm very, very glad about this. That's about all. Peace out.